Hello, hello. Welcome to video number 7, Essential Oils for Pets.
Woohoo!
All right. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. Some of you may or may not know that I used to be a professional dog trainer for 7 years and own a working farm, ranch. So I had a good dozens to 100 animals at any given time, including lots of dogs, cats, mini donkeys, and I have used the essential oils on all of them, including chickens, alpacas, sheep, goats. I mean, of course, my beloved dog pets, and my kitties too. Okay, so if anyone has some experience using essential oils with pets, it's definitely me. Second best, I brought on Pam with me today.
Nice.
So do you want to tell them about your little pack a little bit?
Yeah, my little pack of 3 Jack Russell Terriers. My oldest is a 16-year-old female named Darby, so she's in her golden years, and we'll share more about that a little later. And then we have our middle child, Finian, who's 12, and so he's entering the senior stage. And then we have baby Ryan, who's 6, and Alicia was his teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
She came into my puppy class. That's how
That's
I met
how we
Pam.
met.
Apparently 6 years ago. That's how little Ryan is. But yes, it's, with a pack of Jack Russells, you're definitely gonna have some
stuff,
bumps and bruises and all kinds of things. So we're gonna talk about our favorite pet recipes, how to use the essential oils safely on dogs and cats. Specifically today, if you do own farm animals and horses, pretty much you're just going to do the exact same thing. And with horses, you'll use a lot more because they're big. They weigh a lot more. So we'll just keep the focus on cats and dogs for today. And then we'll share our screen here. Okay, video number 7. And so really our goal is to just educate and empower you, natural, safe, affordable, and effective options for your beloved pets. And we just want to let you know we're not licensed veterinarians or have any formal medical training, medical care training. And the information we're sharing is not meant to replace your vet's recommendations or treatments, but to give you additional natural options to explore for your dog's issues. Okay. So again, the essential oil uses, same for people. Aromatically, topically, and internally. However, aromatically for pets, one of the best ways is actually to diffuse them around your pets. And I know you may have seen, Facebook, posts going around like never diffuse around your pet. It's toxic. I'm going to tell you right now, those are a myth. They are not true. And that's because you're using doTERRA essential oils, which are 100% pure, certified pure therapeutic grade. Okay, so and we're going to tell you the best oils for pets and then a few oils just not to use around your pets to make sure you have a great experience and your pets really get the best care. Another great way is to put it on your dog's scarf or even on their collar or spray on their dog bed so they get that aromatic experience. And that's my doggie, Misty. She's since passed, but still, was the #1 advocate of essential oils. Yes. My mascot. And I'm still in between pets right now, but I'll eventually have a new mascot. So topically, you can use the oils on the pads of the feet, just like for humans, we put them on our hands and feet. And between the toes is a great place to put them because you have a lot of nerve endings, a lot of blood vessel endings on the pads. And then the flaps of the ears or directly to the affected area. Okay, so most of the time, I'm going to be applying the oil to the affected area, the belly, or the bottom of the feet. Okay, and then keep out of the eyes and the nose. So essential oils are very, very potent, and if they smell strong to you, they smell 1,000 times stronger to your pet. So you don't want to put it on the face unless you're actually treating something on the face, then you kind of have to. But you definitely want to keep it out of the eyes, just like on a human. So remember, we said 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is actually the equivalent of 28 cups of peppermint tea. So remember that when you're using them on your pets. A little goes a long way, okay? And when you dilute, you're not actually diluting the potency of the essential oil. You're giving it a time-released effect, and you don't need as much oil. The dogs and cats actually, and this is a dog dilution ratio. You can even dilute it more for cats. But the dogs and cats, the oils work even faster and better on them. I'm blown away by results we get on pets all the time. Okay, so and we're going to tell you about some of the top ailments that you would use essential oils for. And then the third way is internally. So this is the least way we're going to use essential oils on the pets. It is only for certain conditions, of course, only with doTERRA essential oils, and just 1 drop at a time. You can put it in a capsule, or you can put it on food. I like to drop it in peanut butter, have them eat that, or even just drop it right in their food bowl. My dogs never noticed it was even there. They just gobbled right up the food. But if you have a picky eater, you might have to get a little more creative, okay? But I wanted to, again, just point out why doTERRA, especially when using pets, or using oils on pets. So the majority of fragrances on the market today are synthetic fragrance. That's the black square. So even like dog shampoo, any of your chemical cleaners that you have at home, Lysol, Febreze, laundry detergent, anything you clean your floors with, all of those have synthetic fragrances in them. And what you should be concerned about for your pets is the same for you. They're an immune disruptor and hormone disruptor. Okay, so they suppress the immune system. So I have found over the years that dog allergies, cat allergies is like an epidemic, okay? And it's clearly linked to the use of synthetic chemicals for cleaners as well as fragrances in the home, okay? So, if you're worried about diffusing around your pets, you should be way, way, way more worried about using candles, the toxic bathroom sprays, or things that you're cleaning the floor with, because your dog's pads, remember, those pads soak up everything. So if they're walking around the chemical cleaners every day, laying all over your floor, they're soaking that up in their skin, and it is causing damage, okay? So, there's a whole lot of diseases that also come from a suppressed immune system. So we don't want to do anything to add to that. So if you won't switch out your chemical cleaners for your kids or yourself, do it for your pet.
Yes.
And then you get the added benefit. And then also with the therapeutic grade essential oils, so that's going to be every other brand of essential oil on the market. Most of them are cut with synthetics, toxins, and that, so every case that I've ever seen of a dog or cat having a reaction to an essential oil has never, ever, ever been with the doTERRA oil, okay, when used properly. And we're going to go over the proper uses later. And even then, when doTERRA oils are not used properly, the chances of a reaction are extremely low and nothing life-threatening, okay? So you just want to really think about the synthetic chemicals that you're using, and even in your own dog shampoos and things like that, making your own natural. You can just use Castile soap to wash your dog. You don't need any dog shampoo. Okay, enough about that. So our first issue we're talking about is owies and skin, okay? So how many of our dogs and cats are getting cuts or hot spots or you know, just any type of skin abrasion like that. Okay, so some of my favorite oils are lavender, frankincense, geranium, copaiba, and helichrysum to use on the pets, as well as the Correctex. Okay, um Correctex is the ointment we shared with you on the last video for kids. Okay, so it's great for kids, great for adults, and great for pets. Okay, it heals so fast, the wounds. And then the helichrysum again actually helps stop the bleeding really quickly. So you want to keep that in your emergency kit if you're out on a hike with your dog, or maybe you're into dog sports, you want to keep that with you at all times. And then the frankincense is amazing at helping with scarring, frankincense and rose. So I know one of my old clients, she had a show dog, and the dog got in a fight and had several small puncture wounds on all around the face, which is like, you know, pretty important to have intact for your showing. And we used the frankincense oil. We actually used it straight, undiluted. That oil is so gentle yet so powerful. You can always dilute when in doubt, but I play a little more risky, so I rarely dilute any of the oils on my pets, but you totally can. It's recommended. I always teach people to use oils on the conservative side, and then I kind of, you know, see how much we can stretch the limit, right? But the frankincense helped heal all of those up with no scarring. Wow. And it was amazing. I just have like story after story after story after story, because not only was I able to try them on all of my 8 dogs when I first started in doTERRA, now I have none, but you know, over the years they've all passed away and whatnot. And so I've tried them on my own 8 dogs. I used to rescue and rehabilitate, you know, dogs, and I would have new dogs coming into my house every month or 2 or 3, and I would use the oils on all their issues. And you know, and then all my clients' dogs when I was a dog trainer. So I really got to see firsthand how these oils work, and just amazing results. I've personally saved thousands and thousands of dollars on vet bills being able to use the oils and for littler things. You know, of course, sometimes you need to go to the vet, get an x-ray, get a blood test, like, of course. But if you can avoid, you know, giving your pet the antibiotics, that is amazing. Yes. So here's our recipe for owie spray. In a 2-ounce spray bottle, you can do 10 drops of lavender, frankincense, and helichrysum. Fill the rest with distilled water. You could also put that in, so what I like to do for the pets is our regular 15 milliliter bottles that the oils normally come in. What I like to do is recycle those for my pet blends, okay? And I have little, I just got them at, you know, hobby store or whatever, little stickers that have a paw print on them. So I slap that paw print on the oil, and I make a diluted version of it, so I know it's already diluted for the pets, okay? So you could also put this same exact blend into a 15 milliliter bottle and fill it up with fractionated coconut oil, and you could use that too. So sometimes the spray is better for certain areas. Sometimes you need the oil in the diluted form, okay? And then, oops. Oh, that's coming next. Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought I skipped a slide. Digestive support. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. DigestZen. Another, so you can use the DigestZen oil on the belly. You can dilute it if you want, especially for smaller dogs. Or you can use the DigestZen Touch. So that comes in a pre-made roller ball that's already diluted with fractionated coconut oil. You can roll that right on the stomach. Or the Tamer Kids Blend. You can roll that right on the stomach too. And with cats, we don't use any of the mint oils on cats. Their liver doesn't have the proper enzymes to metabolize it well. So it's, you know, rarely actually going to cause a problem. But, you know, if we can just use the oils we know are really, really good for cats, why not just use those, okay? And I've used DigestZen, which does have peppermint, on cats many, many times, and I have never had a bad reaction. But I do recommend just sticking with ginger, fennel, and cardamom and creating a blend with that. It works so, so well. And
Awesome.
that's one that
I
used quite a bit, right?
Quite a bit. Ryan has irritable bowel disease, so he throws up easily. He's on a low-fat diet, and in addition, some days are just better than others. So he loves his digestion rubbed on his belly. He loves his paws massaged, and so then usually like things will just calm down. And all of them, time to time, dogs get into stuff.
Yeah.
They eat things they shouldn't eat. And it's like somebody will throw up or whatever. And so we grab the digestion and everybody gets a rub down. And before you know it, like they're just back to their normal perky selves without symptoms.
Yeah, so, a little loose stool, whether it's, gas. I mean, I don't know about you, but my pit bull, he laid some good ones, and that digestion really helped him. Another thing is that the Terrazyme is, in the supplement. You can actually open that up because digestive enzymes are super good for dogs as well. So use a half a one for a little dog, a full one for a big dog, and it really helps them to go on a regular basis. Okay.
We call it hurry up at our house. Hurry up and go outside.
Yeah. So immune booster. Okay. So we have our immunity bomb for the humans, right? We use the On Guard, tea tree, and oregano. However, those are really, really strong for the pets, and tea tree isn't recommended for use in dogs or cats, okay? So I like to make a blend of On Guard, frankincense, and lavender for the boosting of the immune system. If, there's any type of sickness going on, or maybe they're just healing from a wound and you want them to heal faster, this is a fabulous blend to use. I'm going to give you the recipe in just a moment. And then for respiratory support, eucalyptus, peppermint, cardamom, Siberian fir. Oh my goodness. So here's my favorite recipe for immune booster. So I love to recycle a 15 ml bottle. And then I'll usually just take, the bottle, like a empty bottle or almost empty bottle of On Guard or frankincense. That way it's already kind of in there because there's always a little left in there, right? And then I'll add the other ones, and then I'll add the fractionated coconut oil, and then I'll put my little paw print sticker on there so I know it's my pet blend. And then if you have your cap stickers too, you can even add the cap sticker. So if you have an On Guard bottle and you put frankincense and lavender in it, you can put the frankincense and lavender cap sticker onto the side of the bottle so you know what is in that blend. Because this probably isn't something you're going to be using all the time. And then, you put it in the cupboard and then you don't remember what it even is. So that's my tip for you, because I don't know how many times I have forgotten what these things are. And I don't know. I just throw them in a bathtub. Like, it can't hurt.
And everything that's in there you can use on yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Rub it on. Rub them.
Okay, and then you want to do that multiple times a day, rubbing on the paws and the belly, because the belly is where the immune system is, right? And then the respiratory blend. So this is also in a 15 ml bottle. You can make roller balls of these too, if that works better for you. I just find that the roller balls are tough with the pets because of the hair, okay? So some people like to make a spray. Some people like to make a roller. You just figure out what works for you. It doesn't really matter. It's all pretty much the same type of recipe. So in a 15 ml bottle, you're going to use eucalyptus, cardamom, or Siberian fir. You can use both. And then omit the peppermint, but omit that for cats, okay? And then you'll just fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil, apply that to the paws and chest 3 times a day. So, and then also diffusing these oils is really, really key. So we don't use the Breathe on pets because it does have the tea tree oil in it. Okay. However, if you're diffusing Breathe around your pets, it's totally fine. It's such a small amount of tea tree. You'll never see any issue with it, as long as when you're diffusing, you're not locking them in a bathroom, where it's in a small confined area with an oil that's not, good for them. You want to just use it in an open room so they can move away from the diffuser if they would like to. But you'll see if you put different things in the diffuser, your pets will actually gravitate to it and lay under the diffuser. I've had cats do it, dogs do it. I mean, they know what their body needs. Just like an animal in the jungle, they know, like, if they're sick, go eat this certain plant to help their tummy settle, or whatever that is, or I don't know, magic mushroom or something. I don't know.
Well, and can I just add, like, I put oils on myself every single day throughout the day and night, and I use Breathe regularly for my own asthma control. And so my dogs are on me. They lay on my chest. They lick me, so they're getting it, and they love it. So if I'm putting on something just right away, they might not lay on me right that minute. And then the next thing I know, I've got, 3 dogs on my body soaking up oil. So they choose. They have the ability to choose where they want to be.
Yeah.
So,
That's perfect.
Works good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Allergies. Oh my gosh. I told you before, this is an epidemic. The itchy dog syndrome is out of control. Okay. And just like the allergy balm for humans, we use lemon, lavender, and peppermint. I'm going to give you the exact protocol in just a moment. But you can also diffuse that blend. It's not going to be as effective. It's just going to be an added support. Okay. And then two other really great products for this is the IQ Mega Oil. So we shared about this in the last video, the kids video. It's the Omega for the kids. And this one is really supportive. Fish oil is very supportive of the skin, the immune system, the brain, all that, but it really helps with the coat on your pets, and helps with the allergies. So we've seen a huge difference when people add that in. And then PB Assist. So remember, allergies come from the immune system. So when you're supporting the gut with healthy probiotics, you're actually able to shift that, and you'll see way, way less itching. Okay, so there are dog probiotics out there on the market, but just like we said before, when we told you about the PB Assist, most of that gets eaten up in the stomach acid, and they're not actually getting any of it into the intestines. So if you have a small dog, probably under 15 pounds, you probably don't want to use the PB Assist. You want to get some sort of, high quality, like children's probiotic out in the market. I don't know the brand for sure, but doTERRA's Kids PB Assist Junior actually includes xylitol, which is toxic to pets and totally safe for humans. So you can't use doTERRA's PB Assist Junior, but you can definitely use the PB Assist Plus on your medium and large dogs. Okay. So here's our rollerball recipe for allergies for dogs, okay? Because lemon and peppermint aren't good for cats. So you can definitely add the lavender with the respiratory blend that we shared a moment ago. So this respiratory blend, you can do eucalyptus, cardamom, Siberian fir, and lavender. Wonderful, wonderful for cats with allergies, okay? Great to diffuse them around the cats. Actually, that's my favorite way to support cats with allergies, is to diffuse around them. And then for the doggies, you want to do lavender, lemon, peppermint in a roller ball and apply that to their paws and belly 2 times a day. And I know one of your babies has allergies, right?
Yes, baby Ryan. He's the culprit.
The troublemaker.
The paws. He loves the paws. And I actually like to also apply it around the neck, the back of his neck, and just massage. He loves the massage down the spine as well.
Yeah, any oils you can apply down the spine is just a wonderful, just like on a human.
You would think with the coat that maybe they wouldn't get the benefit, but it just goes right into the skin.
Soaks right through the hair. Now, if you have like a Burmese mountain dog or something, might be a little tougher to get through that coat, but the short Jack Russell fur is definitely no problem. Oh my gosh, this itch recipe has been a lifesaver for so many people, because it's just miserable watching your dog just chew himself or lick himself, or scratch and scratch and scratch, and there's like nothing you can do, and the vets just say, get Benadryl, and then you do Benadryl, and it works for a while, and then eventually they get immune to it, and it does damage their liver. And you can use these oils, and they're way more effective. They don't get immune to it, and eventually their immune system, after helping them with all these oils, it actually starts kind of working itself out. And sometimes people don't even have to use the oil anymore because the allergies are gone.
Yes, and I'll just mention that I switched their shampoo, and they use doTERRA's shampoo and conditioner. Yes, and I use it just like I would on myself, and they don't need baths, but maybe once every 6 months, unless they get into something. And these are active dogs who are inside, outside, rolling in the dirt, doing whatever. That doTERRA, and they smell amazing, and their allergies are getting better. The less they shampoo, the better their skin. So it's an interesting little thing to try out.
I've even used the doTERRA body wash on them before too, because I didn't have anything else. I was like, all right, here we go. And it seemed to work really, really well.
Yeah.
So the itch spray. Okay, in a 2-ounce bottle, you want to put 10 drops of lavender, 5 geranium. Geranium is amazing for calming itchy skin. Okay, so, and it typically tastes pretty bad too. There was a Doberman that I used to babysit, and every time she would come over, she would get kind of stressed out, even though she loved us. But being away from her home and being around my dog, it was a little bit stressful for her. So she would start to lick the paw, and I would just use, we're going to get to calming in a minute. So I would use the calming oils to diffuse them around her. But then I would put a drop of geranium right on that spot, because it was always that one spot. And I remember the first time she goes to smell it. She's like, ugh. And then she's like, well, let me try lick it. And she licks it, and she's like, not the best tasting oil. However, some dogs will lick right through the taste. But it did work for her. She was like, nope. And then we just used the calming oils. And then by day 2, she was good as gold, no stress at all. Okay. And then also in here is the myrrh. So you've all heard of like frankincense and myrrh, right? Brought to baby Jesus. And so this is another really powerful oil, and it's very thick. It's from the resin from the tree, and it's very, very soothing to the skin. And very gentle on dogs. So I love, and cats. So this recipe is good for dogs and cats. And I like to actually fill it with organic aloe vera juice that I can get from the health food store, not like the sugary drink that's at the grocery store. Like real aloe juice. Okay. It's super soothing to the skin as well. And then, just so you know, you could use this as a sunburn recipe for yourself too. So, hey, I mean,
that sounds wonderful.
Anything you can use on the dogs, you can use on your too. And I've dealt with so many dogs with allergies. But I remember this one dog that was in a rescue. It was a little white dog, very, very low immune system, horrible case of dermatitis, and had pretty much lost all its skin. So it was unadoptable and just miserable, the itching and everything like that. So we actually started that puppy on both the doTERRA Kids vitamins. We used the allergy blend, and we used the itch spray. And within about a month, half of its hair had grown back. And she was actually adopted out. Aww. So, and I don't know what would have happened to that dog if she couldn't have been adopted out. And that was after rounds and rounds and rounds of antibiotics and steroid shots. And just, if that is the case for you, start incorporating these things, because all the antibiotics do is kill the good bacteria in the gut, and then you get more of a candida overgrowth. And just like we talked about on our other talk, the same thing happens to pets. So you've got to break that cycle, and I've been able to help so many people. But okay, we'll move on now. Calming. All right, you want to tell them about this one,
This
Pam?
kid needs some help.
Anyone who owns a husky has seen that face.
Oh, so, so yeah, the lavender. Our dogs love serenity and balance for calming and grounding. They are very sensitive to loud noises. They don't like fireworks in the neighborhood. We're still in an area where those are legal. And so certain holidays, you know, our neighbors and everybody celebrates and can be very stressful for them. So that's when we really bust out that serenity and balance. The calmer blend is the kids touch, and you can just roll it right in your hand and then just massage your dog. Vetiver for self-confidence. If you have a dog with anxiety or just, you know, really nervous, a little vetiver. And peace. To imagine putting peace on yourself and how that's going to feel to an anxious pup or kitty. So again, you just rub the paws, diffuse. You can apply it to the scarf or the collar, spray it on their bed. And our dogs really love the massage method. They like the treat. And I love to treat them and just really massage. And we have our middle child, Finian, and he can be really nervous. And he's picky about oils. So I'm going to throw in that his favorite oil is actually frankincense. And that calms him down.
Yeah. I mean, if you put a list of the calming essential oils from doTERRA, the list just goes on and on and on, right? But frankincense is definitely very, very grounding and balancing. And then don't forget separation anxiety, dogs. I actually find that balance is the number one, but you've got to figure out what works for your dog. So just like with humans, no one oil works the same for every single dog. And there's so many options. And then, you know, this is just one of my favorite recipes. You can mix anything you want. You can do lavender and frankincense. You can do, you know, peace and serenity, like whatever works for you. But serenity and balance just gives you a wide variety of a bunch of different oils in a 2-ounce spray bottle, 10 drops each. Fill the rest with distilled water or regular water, whatever floats your boat. The only reason for distilled water is it doesn't help, or it helps not gunk up your sprayer, so the sprayers last longer because you can keep refilling them again and again and again. And then spraying down the bedding, the collar, the chest, and then definitely diffusing. Diffusing is key for calming the pets down. Okay. Insect repellent. All right. So we have a blend called Terra Shield, which is our repellent blend, amazing for mosquitoes. But it also is great for the pets. So the Terra Shield spray is already diluted. You do not want to dilute it anymore. Just use it straight up. So you can just buy that and use that. Done. Or some of our other favorite oils for repelling pesky critters is citronella, lemon, eucalyptus, purify, peppermint, rosemary, arbor vitae, basil, lemongrass, eucalyptus, cedarwood. I mean, like, there's so many that help repel. So you can make your own spray bottle. You can reapply it. You just want to make sure you don't spray it in their eyes or their mouth. So here's my favorite recipe. Is the citronella, lemon eucalyptus, arbor vitae, peppermint, and lemongrass. And lemongrass is the number one for ticks, okay? So why it says reapply every 3 to 6 hours is because the essential oils are volatile substances. So they evaporate and they're gone. Okay. And so you want to, like, before you go on a hike, let's say, or go on a walk, and maybe you walk through some, you know, wooded areas or whatever, or weeds, or, you know, grassy area, whatever. You want to spray your dog down right before you go on the hike. Okay. Especially on under their belly and on their chest. That's usually where the ticks latch on, is like around the face and under the chest. Okay. What was I going to say about that? maybe it'll come back to me in a second. But I'll tell you about the repellent powder, okay? So me and Pam were going through the PowerPoint. She's like, Parmesan cheese shaker? What are you talking about?
Like, they're going to taste amazing.
And then I was like, well, I don't actually know how many ounces are in a Parmesan cheese shaker, but I buy them at the 99-cent store. And I make my own flea powder, and I put it in that bottle. It's the best thing to do. I'm sure you can get them on Amazon or whatever. But basically, you just want to do like 1 cup of food-grade diatomaceous earth, and not the kind that you put in your pool. You want to look up food grade because it actually kills the insects, not just like the essential oils actually only repel. The food grade diatomaceous earth actually kills the bugs. So it's very, very fine particles of diatom skeletons. And the way insects work is they have, in their cells, it actually like cuts the cell. And so the cell will dry out, and that's why it kills the bug. It doesn't do that to humans or pets though, only to insects. And you can look up, we call it DE, diatomaceous earth. There's like a million recipes and uses for that one as well. I would do a detox for my dogs, like once every month or couple months. And I would do some of the detox oils as well as the food grade diatomaceous earth right in their food so that you can cleanse out, especially like living on a farm, they're like eating chicken poop and all kinds of gross stuff. It's like, okay, they need a detox just like we do. But you can add your favorite oils to it. So you can just do the TerraShield oil and put that straight into it. Put 30 drops of just TerraShield into the DE, stir it up. That's fine. Or you can make your own blends. Or you can add on, now we have the citronella oil. You can just like bonus that TerraShield up with just the straight citronella, which I definitely highly recommend. And the flea powder, it does wash off and wear off. So you want to reapply it every 2 weeks during like high flea season, and then every 4 weeks when it's not. And then definitely after each bath, because if you give them a bath, it totally wears off. Okay. I really thought I was going to say something else about this, but I can't remember it. So, oh well, maybe I'll think of it later. Okay, ears. So the, earaches, ears, things, ear problems.
So common.
So common. And I have a special ear wash recipe that is amazing. It does help with prevention, and it does help when you're having a problem as well, okay? So I'm going to give you the recipe for that in a moment, but I do also want to share with you, after you cleanse the ear, then you want to put 1 to 2 drops of geranium, basil, or frankincense on a cotton ball and swipe it in the ear or on a Q-tip for a little dog, right? But the geranium is my absolute favorite, okay? And before I knew tea tree was not good for pets, I used tea tree many times for dog ear problems, and it worked really, really well. Then I found out, you can't use tea tree oils on pets. And I was like, okay, well. So I started trying out different oils. And boom, geranium, I have found works the best. Typically, it's gone within 24 hours with just 1 to 2 to 3 applications. So in the very beginning of this whole video series, I showed you the example of cost what was it, like $0.25 instead of a $250 vet bill. So, I mean, this is the kind of stuff, like you can buy an entire doTERRA kit for the price of,
one vet trip.
And so if any of these issues can be avoided, like you're already way ahead of time. So this is the ear cleanser recipe. I do a 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, a 1/2 cup of witch hazel, and then 2 drops of lavender and 2 drops of geranium. You could also use frankincense. You can also use the basil, whatever works the best for your dog. I have several groomers that use this. They use it on their own pets. They use it on their clients. I've had people whose dog have chronic ear issues and just constant go back to the vet, get antibiotics. then all of a sudden, you know, it's back again and back again and back again. And they start using this ear recipe about, you know, every 2 to 4 weeks or after a bath, maybe once a week if you're really having a lot of problems, or swiping the ears every couple days, you know, until you get it like, you know, worked out. It will change everything. And I don't know if you've had any ear problems, Jax.
We don't tend to have too many unless there's an allergy flare up.
Yeah.
And it's really, I think, consistency. Like what you're describing is the consistency of the use.
Yeah, and certain breeds are prone.
Yes.
You know, the Labradors, and, you know, anytime a dog goes swimming or you give them a bath, they could get water in their ear. So key. Oh,
that's so cute.
The old babies. So pain and discomfort. Oh my gosh. There's also so many oils for pain, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about like a injury, and then she's going to talk a little bit more about like how to really support your senior dogs in that transitional phase and having their quality of life. You know, it makes such a difference. But so with an injury, you know, like I'll give you, so this is going to be my favorite doggy pain blend: frankincense, copaiba, lemongrass, turmeric, and aroma touch. And I love, 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 love adding the helichrysum in there as well, because the helichrysum helps it heal so fast. But the lemongrass is really, really good for helping heal tendons, ligaments, and muscle tears. So my dog actually tore his ACL 3 different times. So, well, I had two dogs. So my lab, she tore hers. She tore 3 ligaments, like completely clean, had to have surgery. There was no coming back from that, just using oils, right? But I did use the oils to help in her healing process. Okay, so we used lavender and frankincense right on the stitches, and the Correct-X right on the stitches. And then I used the pain blend all over the leg and knee, and I massaged it into her spine, all down her spine. And that dog bounced back so fast from a knee surgery. The vets were like, this dog is like, what is this dog? You know, how did she bounce back so fast? And I did definitely have her on the Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex, which is all natural. It helps with a healthy inflammatory response. Okay, so you know, I was able to wean her off the pain meds super fast. Now, of course, pain meds are necessary in a surgery situation like that. Like, you don't want your animal suffering in pain. But I was able to wean her off them really quick, just using the oil topically and the Deep Blue, and she was not in pain. And then my other dog, my pit bull, he had 3 times over his lifespan injured his ACL, but not to the point where it needed surgery. Like, you know, we were able to do the x-ray and see like it wasn't bad enough to need surgery. And they were like, okay, well, he needs to be crated and on bed rest, only on leash, to go outside, to go potty every day, all day for 6 months. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. But I did it for about a month, and I did the same thing. I used the same oils, and that dog also bounced back. He was like fine in like a month. It was completely healed. I did try to keep him, you know, more on bed rest, but we did not make it the 6 months. He was back in action, totally fine, so fast. So I just want you to know, like, there is other support, and, you know, really look to your oils and massage them in, because they are so healing and just so great for inflammation and dealing with the pain and the healing of it. Absolutely. And so that's for an injury. Now,
so I actually, well, like I said, Darby is 16. She turned 16 in November. And so we've noticed the early stages of some doggy dementia going on with her. And so some of the signs are anxiety, getting disoriented. She'll start pacing, doing circles in the living room. She'll start yelling, like literally the bark sounds like she's just yelling for
Oh,
me.
my.
Like, where are you, Mom? So as soon as I notice any change in her behavior, I grab the frankincense, the copaiba, I get a little bergamot and spikenard. And also we use a little bit of grapefruit too. I put the oils, just a drop of each in my hand. I rub my hands together and I just start right really close to her face and just massage her and let her just breathe it in off of my hands and just talk to her. And then a calming massage. Within 10, if that, within 10 to 15 minutes, she's calmed down. She's back in her bed, taking a nice long nap. Because when you're in your golden years, naps are the best. And they're long.
That's life.
That's life. And then she'll wake up and she's just back to her normal, happy, oh, Dad's home, trotting to the kitchen to see Dad. And I have to mention she has cataracts, so she's blind. And she's able to get herself in and out of the dog door. She's super independent. We just have to manage her symptoms and keep her calm and happy. And so that's how we're maintaining her quality of life.
Yeah.
And without the oils, I don't know if we would still have her right now.
Yeah, it would be awful for her, and you know, you wouldn't want to watch her suffering. So if there's anything you can do for your pets in that time, you know, that's natural and is just really going to support them, just like the, you know, when you smell an oil, it changes the brain chemistry. It's the same thing for pets. And it's so stressful. I know my mom's dog is older too. She's deaf and blind. And we just, you know, she gets real panicky and, you know, she just does the pacing and it's just so sad. But it's like, she's not ready to go, but like, you know, like sometimes they just have those bad moments and it just really makes a big difference.
And the oils make a huge difference, and a small amount, again, goes a really long way.
Yeah. Awesome. So there's the doggy pain blend. You can massage it into their hips, joints, spine, or area of discomfort. And, you know, those massages are just so key for the babies, and they know you love them, and it's so much fun.
You get to pamper them. They deserve it.
So quick, going to go over some precautions. Start out small to really just make sure there's no sensitivities, which again would be extremely rare, just like it's rare on a human. Dilute with fractionated coconut oil or any other, you know, jojoba oil, almond oil, olive oil, like whatever you have. If you don't have coconut oil, like in that moment, yes, fractionated coconut oil is the best. But you know, if you're in a pinch, just use what you have. Even if it's just vegetable oil, canola oil, just use what you have. Signs of reaction would be like sneezing excessively. So a lot of times you'll put the oil on, the dog will sneeze once, fine. But if they're sneezing, that's probably not the oil for them. Drooling, panting, whimpering, or trying to rub off the oils. Some dogs are just a little over dramatic with the whole rubbing the oils off, and I'm like, yeah, you're fine, too bad. But if I definitely see like excessive sneezing, drooling, panting, like that's not a good sign, which is extremely, extremely rare. Like you're way more likely to have a side effect from flea and tick medication than anything these oils are going to do. And, you know, you're more likely to have a reaction to Lysol you're spraying in your house than these oils. Okay. But we're just giving you the precautions. Careful with puppy and kittens under 10 weeks of very, very ill animals and senior animals. And, you know, especially if you get your dog used to them, like, Pam can put them on straight, no diluting.
They live with oils.
They're used to it. Careful with pregnant dogs. Avoid the eyes, nose, and dropping it straight in the ears. So you make sure you put it on a cotton ball before you put it in the ear. Worst oils for dogs are tea tree, wintergreen, deep blue, and camphor. A lot of people have used deep blue on their pets. Never had a reaction. However, it's not good for dogs. Okay. Or cats. And the reason kind of for that is because their livers don't have the same enzymes that ours do. So they're not able to metabolize it well. So especially if you are, you know, if you happen to get an oil on them that isn't the best, as long as it's diluted, you're not going to see a reaction. And it's just one time. It's just, if you were using tea tree on your pet over and over and over again every day, like you may see a reaction, right? And then the worst oils for cats are the same, plus peppermint, spearmint, and all the citrus oils. Lemon, lime, grapefruit, all the citrus are not good for cats. And then you want to be really careful with any of your hot oils. Thyme, clove, cassia, oregano. Now, I have used all of these oils on the pets. I just make sure those ones are absolutely always diluted and only for, like really, big issues that you're dealing with, like strong infections, things like that. Okay. Do not use PBSS Junior, On Guard toothpaste, or other products with xylitol. Yeah. So the peppermint beadlets and On Guard beadlets also have xylitol in them, which is not toxic to humans at all, but is toxic to pets. Okay. So you want to really be careful about that. And even some peanut butters on the market today are having xylitol in them. So you want to make sure, as a pet owner, you're looking to make sure.
Yes.
Okay. So last thing, just want to go over our third doTERRA business option. And, some people start out as a side hustle, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, this is growing really fast. I want to replace my income. And then, eventually it's like, well, what would total financial freedom look like? Okay. And for me, total financial freedom and time freedom is being able to give back and make a difference. Okay. When I'm not struggling to pay my bills paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, what can I do with that extra money? I can donate it. What can I do with my time? I could volunteer to make a difference. I could do fundraisers, and when you have that size of a team, because, by the time you have total financial freedom, you've helped people help other people get oils, and they're getting other people on the oils, and they're getting other people on the oils, and it just kind of like spreads like wildfire. All of a sudden you have this amazing team that is also willing to be a contribution and give back. So I know for me, I've done many fundraisers to actually benefit an organization called Operation Underground Railroad, which is anti-sex trafficking, human trafficking organization. And they, I can rally my team. We just go do wine tasting for a fundraiser, it's just fun. And so what it looks like as a doTERRA business, once you get to those leadership ranks and you have, thousands of people on your team, and you've got many business builders supporting their teams, you're still doing the same core activities, sharing essential oils, teaching classes, holding workshops, doing continued education because you love it. I don't care how long I'm doing this, I'm never going to stop educating people because it's my passion, and I want people to have these in their home. I want people to utilize the best essential oils in the world and not have a secondary mediocre product. I want them to have doTERRA in their home. And then, other thing is just empowering and training new wellness advocates, which is my favorite part of this entire business, is actually empowering leaders. And, when you bringing on that self-confidence and inspiring them to continue their personal development. And I love that. And one thing that I get that's a gift is I actually get to experience my own leadership in being a contribution to others. And what do we want more than anything in the world is just to be a contribution. So, with the total financial freedom, that's looking at $4,800 to $17,000 a month and up. Okay. This is just the starting point for financial freedom, working 15 to 30 hours per week. So this is way more dedication, and for me, I wasn't able to do this until about 2 years in, when I was able to replace my income after 2 years. Then I started doing doTERRA more full time, and now it's 100% all I do is doTERRA. And so, whether it takes you 3 years, whether it takes you 5 years, whether, you're building that residual income. Here, let me stop the share. You're building that residual income so that you can actually, let's see, what am I trying to say? if something happens in your family and you can't go to work, you know, like a couple years ago or a year ago, you know, when Misty, my dog, was passing away and my grandmother was passing away at the same time, I could just drop everything because I know I have an amazing team of people that can keep the ball rolling and keep the show going and keep educating people. I was able to just disconnect and be there for my family, be there for my grandma, be there for my dog. And, you know, like I just got to do that. And so I think that's one of the biggest gifts, as well as to be able to just know you're helping so many people and empowering your leaders and just making a difference out in the world. So, you know, I don't know what financial freedom and time freedom would mean to you, whether it's, you know, spending more time with your kids, making sure you can never miss that soccer game, or even you could coach the soccer team, or travel. And one of the most inspiring people when I first got into doTERRA was actually my one of our uplines, Stephanie and Ben Scoville. Steph would always say, I'm going to road school my kids. And I don't know if I already told you guys this story or not. I should have probably checked. But I want to road school my kids, which means I'm going to retire my husband. I'm going to buy an RV, and we're going to homeschool and travel the country. And that was the kind of freedom that I wanted. And now they live in Europe half the year so that they can learn German and go to school in Europe. And it's just like, just the freedom just to do whatever you want, whenever you want. There's just nothing like it. And so, you know, whether it takes you 3 years to get that financial freedom, whether it takes you 6 years, whether it takes you 10 years, it's still going to be way better than working for 40 years or longer, because people aren't being able to retire until 65, 70, 75 years old. And I know I just don't want that for my family. So that's why I'm willing to put in the work now. And, you know, getting to do something I'm super passionate about and make a difference for people, it just, everything is just comes together. And I know Pam is on the same journey.
Yep.
And we're all here to support you in whatever way that we can. Okay, so I can't wait to be with you on our next video, the science behind essential oils and co-impact sourcing.
So that's going to be a good
one. Going to get to learn where these oils are sourced, how we source them, why they work the way they do, and all of the, you know, amazing opportunities that doTERRA is bringing to many, you know, farmers and citizens of third world countries that really have no opportunity besides farming. And anyways, we're going to go way more into it next week. So, all right, that's it for us today. And happy oiling on your fur babies. Bye, everybody. Bye.